So today we are doing lesson 2.2, which is all about dividing by one-digit divisors. Okay, your learning goal today is to be able to divide 3- and 4-digit dividends by one-digit divisors. Okay, and not only that, but to know how to check your answer once you're done. Okay, very good. Wait, there's the problem of the day. Let's look at this problem. It says, oh, and by the way, you guys don't need to copy down the problem. You just need to copy down the math and the stuff that we're talking about. Okay? It says Jenna's family is planning a trip to Oceanside, California. They will begin their trip in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and will travel 2,754 miles over 9 days. If the family travels an equal number of miles every day, how far will they travel each day? So first, of course, the very first thing we need to do after reading a word problem is ask ourselves, step 1, what is the problem asking? What is the problem asking? Adam?
How many miles did they drive each day?
Good. We know that the problem is asking us how many miles did this family travel each day? All right, then of course step 2 is let's circle the important information or identify the important information. What information do I need to be able to solve this problem? Yarden? Yes, they are traveling 2,754 miles in all. And what else? Is there anything else? In 9 days. Good. Okay. Do we need to know that they're going to Oceanside, California?
No.
Do we need to know that they're starting from Scranton, Pennsylvania? No, the important information is that they're traveling a total of 2,754 miles over the course of 9 days. Okay, so then the next question is, do we use addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division to solve this problem? Daniel? Division. Okay. Is it a sharing division problem or a grouping division problem? Neha?
Grouping.
Why do you think it's a grouping
Because,
division problem?
you're not sharing things with people.
So remember, for sharing problems, we're figuring out how much goes on in each group. For grouping problems, we're figuring out how many groups there are altogether. Do we know how many days they're traveling for? What are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out how many miles there are on each day. So we're sharing the total number of miles, 2,754 miles. We're sharing them amongst the 9 days. So this is actually a sharing division problem. And that's okay. I told you, our goal is by the end of chapter 2 to always know if it's a division sharing or grouping problem. Okay, this one's a sharing division problem. So what equation would I write then to figure out how I could share these 2,754 miles equally amongst the 9 days? Zara?
2,754 divided by 9.
Okay. Divided by 9. Now, are there 2 ways to write division problems? You can write them horizontally like this. How else could I write this problem? Siddharth?
You could write it by putting a small long line.
A long line. Okay, like this?
Line.
You mean like this?
Yes, and then you have to put the 9 right next to it.
Very good. So the 2 ways of writing this division problem, are they the same thing?
Yes.
Very good. Yesterday, Arushi reminded us that to do division problems, we just need to think about all the members that we could have in our family. We could have a dad, we could have a mom, we could have a sister, and we could have a brother. Okay?
Yeah.
I want you guys to pretend right now that you have a dad, mom, sister, brother. Let's say it in those order. Go. Dad, mom, sister, brother. Okay. That helps us remember because the D for dad stands for the D in division. The M in mom tells you that next you need to multiply. M for mom, M for multiply. Then sister, S for sister, S for subtract. Then B for brother, B for bring down. So let's take a look at how the members of our family can help us as we learn to divide. Okay, so remind me again, what was the division problem I needed to do to solve that math equation? Clarissa?
2,754 divided by 9.
54 divided by 9. Okay, so who's the first member of our family, Joseph? Dad. Okay. The D for dad stands for divide. Okay, we need to first divide then. But before we even do that, what did we learn about yesterday? How do I know where the first digit of my quotient needs to go? Liam?
a number that close to the dividend and could divide is it
That's easy to divide by the divisor, right? Yeah. So is there a number close to 2,754 that's divisible by 9, Ariel?
2,700.
Yes, we can think in our head. I'll think up here in my little thought bubble. We know that 2,700 divided by 9 is how much? How much is it, Ariel?
3.
Is it 3?
No.
27 divided by 9 is?
300.
27 divided by 9 is 3. How many zeros do I have at the end? So how many zeros do I need to add here? So 2,700 divided by 9 is?
300.
So if that's 300, where's the first digit of our quotient? In the hundreds place. So let's go ahead and circle. Put a big circle around the hundreds. All right, now we're ready to think about the members of our family. D stands for dad, which also stands for divide. So let's take a look at the hundreds. We have 27 hundreds. How many times does 9 go into 27 hundreds? Jason? 3 times. Okay, so then we write the number up here. Now that we've divided, the next member of our family is M for mom, which stands for multiply. So then we're going to multiply the 3 right here by your divisor. 3 times 9 is 27. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, is 27. Okay, now that we've done the dad step and mom step, what's the sister's step? Harshita? Subtract. Okay, let's subtract. 27 minus 27 is? 0. Okay, the sister's done her job. Next is brother. The B for brother stands for bring down. Then we bring down the next place value. Okay? All right. Are we done? We've gone through the whole family. No, because we still have numbers in our dividend. Joseph, put your hand down while I'm talking, okay? All right, next. We have to go through the family again. So the next step is to divide. How much is 5 divided by 9?
0.
So do I just skip it?
No.
What do I need to do if 9 does not go 0 times into 5? What do I need to do? Rashika? Yeah, I need to write a 0 up here because 9 goes into 5 0 times. Okay, Dad's done his job, Marcus. Who's next in the lineup? Mom. M stands for? Multiply. So then I need to multiply 0 by 9. What's 0 times 9, Marcus? 0. Okay, Mom's done her job. Who's up next in the lineup? Siddharth? S for Siddharth, S for sister, S for? Subtract. So now I subtract 5 minus 0 is? 5. Okay, now the brother needs to do what? Bring down. Okay, so, all right, what do we need to do next? Who's back up? Karan?
You have to do sister.
Is it sister's turn now?
No.
I just did bring down for brother. Who's next? Dad. Okay, let's divide. 54 divided by 9 is? 6. Who's next? Who's next, Claire? Mom. Okay, what does mom do? Multiply. 6 times 9 is? Yes, I'm out of room, so I'll just write it down here. And then who's next? Sister. Subtract 54 minus 54 is? 0. Is there anything for brother to bring down? No. Are we done? How many miles will the family travel on each of the 9 days? 306 miles. Let's look back at our estimation. Are we in the zone? Do we know our answer is reasonable? Now, we used our estimation to see if we were in the zone, to see if our answer was reasonable. But how else could we check to make sure our answer is 100%? We know for sure that our answer is correct. Multiplication and division are we call them inverse operations, right? We learned about this in chapter 1, yes? What are inverse operations? What does that mean? You can see the first number of a division problem is always called the dividend, right? So when we do the inverse, where does the dividend end up in the multiplication problem? It becomes the what? Product, yep. Right? Okay, the divisor becomes what? What do we call that in the multiplication problem? Tanvi? A factor, yeah. And then the quotient, of course, is the answer of a division problem. What does that become in the inverse multiplication equation? Siddharth?
It becomes a factor.
Also a factor, yeah. Okay? So the most important thing to remember, though, is that the dividend needs to become the product, right? And that the quotient becomes a factor. Do you see how it's like if you zip it up this way, you unzip it this way, right? So they undo each other. In the top one, which one is the dividend? 16, 18, or 2? Which one's the dividend? I'll circle the dividend in black. Arushi? 16 is the dividend. What about when we write it this way then? Where does the dividend go? Does he live in the house, to the side of the house, or on top of the house? The dividend always lives where, Daniel? Inside the house. Okay, so the dividend is in black. All right, let's take a look. Where's the divisor? Where's the divisor? Stuart?
It's the second one.
Yeah, so in this case, the number is 8. So when we write it this way, where does the divisor live, on top of the house, or is he knocking on the door to the side of the house? Joseph?
He's knocking on the door.
He's knocking on the door. He's on the side of the house. Okay, very good. Then, of course, we know the last number, or the answer, is called the what? Quotient. And the quotient is always on the roof of the house, right? Now, what multiplication equation is the inverse of this equation? 16 divided by 8 equals 2. What multiplication equation could I use to check my answer? Which one is the inverse? Clarissa?
8 times 2.
Or 2 times 8, right, equals what? 16. Very good. Okay, let's take, what happened? There's a number missing from our equation. Blank divided by 2 equals 52. Which number is missing? Is it the dividend, the divisor, or the quotient? Which one's missing in our equation? Thomas? Not the divisor. Which one's missing? The dividend is missing. Very good. Could we use what we know about inverse operations to help us figure out what the missing dividend should be?
Yes.
What equation could we use, Shreya?
We could use 52 times 2 to figure out what the difference is.
Very good. So what is 52 times 2? Matthew?
104.
104. So now we know that the missing dividend is 104. How could I write this equation in a different way with the house? How could I write? Which number is missing? The one inside the house, the one knocking on the door, or the one on the roof? Which number is missing? Which one is missing? Ariel? The one on the roof is missing up here? Do we know which number belongs on the roof?
Yeah.
Which number belongs on the roof? I'm going to write it.
The
Quotient, which is? Is the quotient 104?
Wait, the quotient is 52.
Yeah, the quotient's 52, so he's on top of the roof. Who's knocking on the door? What number?
The 2.
The 2. So what's missing?
In the house.
In the house. But now that we've done the inverse operation, we know who's in the house?
104.
104.